So I've talked about this on my channel before, but never really super at length and really from different angles. The idea that women choose men for a lifestyle. Again, I talked about this a lot, but not super in depth, and it's usually kind of topical, saying like, you know, women choose a man with a certain type of money for a lifestyle. I've thought about this a lot, and it's interesting to me why people, and I don't know if it's just women in general or people in general, how they always talk about like, oh, well, you need to have things in common if you want to have a relationship. You need to have this commonality type thing. I'm not saying that doesn't help, you know. I mean, in general, if you have things in common with people, it does help you have a friendship or a relationship, kind of, right? But what I don't understand is like, why is that so intrinsically linked to having a successful love-based relationship? I think that the thing that you have in common with somebody is the fact that you love them, is the fact that you are actually, you share a bond of love, right? Not, oh, we both love bowling, so we got married, right? Isn't that weird? Like, I'm not saying those people don't love each other, right? But sure, you know, we both have this clubbing thing in common, so we fell in love. I guess that happens, right? But what if you don't have anything in common with that person? Is that a deal breaker? Or what if you're very attracted to that person, but you're different type of people, but you're very attracted to that person, you have different interests, and that's fine, because you can have different interests. Oh, I like photography, she likes swimming. I guess it's not going to work out. Isn't that weird how people do that? Maybe you just enjoy different things, but you still love each other, and what you have is a intimacy bond. What you have is a you know, a come home and love my wife and love my husband type thing. What's wrong with that? Okay, you go swimming and I'll go to my photography, right? What's wrong with that? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But what I also see is women choosing men for a lifestyle, like you would choose a outfit for a certain event. Oh, you know, I really like that this guy is into like beer and drinking because I'm really into beer and drinking, and so this is the lifestyle that I want, right? Or worse, they choose a man for his money for the lifestyle, because his money can fund the lifestyle they want. And that right there is just, you know, that's an exchange of intimacy for resources, which I think a lot of marriages are based on, and I've talked about this a lot on my channel in the past, and which is unfortunate, because that's just a bartering type relationship. But one thing I find strange is that many women really are like this. They want a certain type of lifestyle, and they want the guy to help them get it. And it's weird. It's like, I don't know why women are always into like trends and stuff, or like certain niche, I don't know if I say that word right, niche or whatever, however you say that word, niche trends, like, oh, I'm a gamer girl, that's my identity, or I'm a goth girl, that's my identity, right? Why does that have to be your entire identity? I think there's just so much abnormality in that type of thinking. Because we go through so many changes. Yeah, you might be a goth girl in your 20s, but your 30s, you might be a completely different person with completely different feelings, completely different emotions, right? Or you might just still be you, but you just are no longer into that type of lifestyle. So to choose a guy for a lifestyle is it's like no wonder those no wonder a lot of relationships don't work out, because a lot of times they're just in a phase, or they like that thing about that guy. It's very attractive that he's got this hobby that I like or something, right? He's cool because he's in this cool group. And well, what if the group breaks up? What if he stops liking that hobby and all of a sudden likes something totally different? You know what I mean? This is what I'm saying, is that if you have love as the base of your relationship, then things could change and it won't matter. Your lifestyle could change, your hobbies could change, your habits could change, but it won't matter because you have the love as the foundation. You have the love as the base, right? So I don't know. That's just weird to me. It's always been weird to me. I don't like the idea of, and I said this a lot on my channel before, of men as utility. I always use that phrase, men as utility. I don't like that. And I think there's something in women, I don't know what it is, but they treat us like we're like servants in a way. They really do, and it's so weird. It's always struck me as so odd. And I think to me it's kind of sexist. It's like, oh, you're a man, well, go fix that. Oh, you're a man, well, do this for me. You're a man, well, you need to have some kind of purpose that you're serving me because you're a man. Whereas when it comes to women, they treat women like they're equals. But when it comes to men, like, men are just beneath them, and men need to do something to entertain their fancy and keep them interested, which is just weird. It's like, you say you want to be equal, but then you downgrade us, right? Well, how could we be equal if you're downgrading us? Oh, he's just a man, so he must, he needs to fix something, get him some tools and change my light bulb, mow my lawn, right? You'll have women doing this type of stuff with men, like using men for different purposes, and you'll see memes and stuff like that where she's got this guy to take her out on Friday night and he's real classy, and then she's got the thuggy guy that she hangs out with during the week or whatever, and he's exciting because he's got a bunch of muscles. Then she's got the weak business guy who dresses in suits, and he's not muscular and he's not charismatic like the other guys, but he's got a lot of money, and he provides her this lavish lifestyle. I think that's like women are the original players. Women are players, man, and it's funny how we uplift men, like, oh, men are players, woo woo, men are pimps, da da da, like, pimps. I use that term colloquially. I'm not saying men should be pimps, real pimps, but I mean, like, when a guy gets laid a lot, when he's got a lot of women around him, they say, oh, he's a pimp, or he's balling, or he's a player, right? But really, women are the real players because they've got so much access. They've got so much access to men, access to dates, access to sex. And what do men do? Men try to win women over by, flashing their money around. So it's, in a sense, we kind of shoot ourselves in the foot by doing that, because what's the message that is saying? It's saying women can be bought. We want to buy you. We want to fund your lifestyle. We want to impress you with our resources, right? What's that monkey? There's a monkey analogy where, like, the female this is crazy. I don't know if I think it's real. I thought it was real, but this female monkey figures out that if she gives sex to the monkeys, they'll give her all their bananas or something. I don't know. You can Google it, but it's weird. It's like, this is like what dating is like. It's just like, huh? I gotta pay for it. I gotta pay for your time, and this is why women become narcissists. We're like, men better pay me for my time. You better. And I heard that the new thing is women are all like, some women are like, you better give me $250 just to even get ready before I even go on the date with you. And somehow in their little female brains, or their little, narcissistic female brains, they figure that, oh, well, time is money, so if I spend 3 hours getting ready and putting on my makeup and putting on my face, which, by the way, is fake, right? That's a fake person. I dated a girl who looked totally different without her makeup. Totally different. She looked like a different person without her makeup. Well, not a completely different person, but you know what I mean. Like, big difference, man. Take her swimming on the first date. That's the old joke. Take her swimming on the first date. But 3 hours, seriously. And she would take like 2 or 3 hours to do her hair, do her makeup, get all freshened up, whatever, just to come hang out with me. You know what I mean? Like, we weren't even going on dates. We weren't even going out anywhere. She was just coming over. And it's like, damn, So that's how women think. They think, oh, I got to spend 3 hours getting ready for this date. You better pay me for that. Pay me for those 3 hours. That's worth $250. It's just like, wow, man. I mean, that's you're selling yourself. You're selling yourself. And I think that a lot of relationships are based on that. They're based on women selling themselves. But when it comes to like what they really want, I mean, that's just dating, right? That's just dating. But when it comes to a real relationship, what do they want? They want the lifestyle, right? It's not about the guy. The guy is interchangeable, I think, to most women. And I'm not saying this is all women, but this just seems to be something in their nature that just is all about the lifestyle. And I can understand, living in a capitalist society, you don't have, the family values the same. It's all about me. There's a lot of selfishness going on, a lot of greed, and you're raised you're cold that way. Cold is the right word, but CULLED. You're cold in that type of environment, meaning that's what shaped you. Capitalism, selfishness, me. So that extends to the relationship. She's not just looking for love. She's not just looking for a man. She wants the lifestyle. What can you do for me? And I think there's something in their nature that's like this. What can you do for me? Are you going to take me out to the bars? Are you going to take, I'm into breweries. This is the type of lifestyle that I want. I want to do breweries, and when that changes, I want to go boating, or like, I guess I understand that it's nice to have hobbies. It's nice to do things, right? Okay, that's cool, but what does that have to do with love? Like, why are you mixing that into the package deal of what you want in a man? Because in your mind, men are utility. And the way you're looking at men is like, he's a means to an end. All right, yeah, I love him. Okay, maybe I want to be intimate with him, But he checks off my boxes of my hypergamy and what I want in a man and the type of finances and resources he has, right? And those are deal breakers for women. Right? Those are deal breakers for women. And I say, and I've said it before, men need to have a lot of standards. You need deal breakers for women. Like if she's got a high body count, that should be a deal breaker. And they'll go crazy when you do that, right? Oh, you're a misogynist. Like, okay, it's just preferences. You have a preference that you want a man who's got a boat, so you can take you boating, and that's the lifestyle that you want. You want to be on the river all the time, or not the river, but the lake. Excuse me. You want to be on the lake all the time on a boat. That's what you like. That's why you moved to Florida. That's why you moved to Michigan, where all the lakes are. I don't know. That's why you're in that area. That's why you're in Hawaii, because you want to go out on a boat. So you need a man who's got a boat, right? And it's not just any guy. Oh, she's not just gonna date any dude. She wants the dude who's got the boat, right? She wants the dude who's got the things that's gonna afford her the lifestyle, whether it's the just basic general finances, wealth to afford those things, or if he's actually got those things, he's actually into that. And I think a lot of times they want the guy who's actually into that. Well, I mean, they'll probably take either one, but they'll take the money or they'll take the lifestyle. because the money gets them the lifestyle. Maybe they think, or maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But this is why women are always like, you know, guys should have hobbies, or guys should be into something because they want to go do stuff, and that's fine, and that's totally okay, you know. But it doesn't necessarily have to be like that. Why does it have to be a shared thing? What if he isn't into the same things you are? So you're not going to give him a chance? What if that was your soulmate? What if that was your other half? But because he didn't like boats and he didn't own a boat, you didn't give him a chance, right? It's just like, how, it's childish almost in a way. It's childish. It's very shallow. So, but that's how they roll, man. It's weird. It's weird. Because I've experienced this a lot in my life, where I know a woman is attracted to me physically, or she likes my presence, or she likes my confidence, or something about me, but she can tell that I'm just not, I don't have the type of lifestyle that she wants, which again is just another thing that men have to, like, not to say we got to worry about it, but men, so much we do is to impress women, which is sad in a way, but I guess it's normal in a sense, because, like, hey, you know, we want to have sex, or we want to have intimacy, we want to have relationships, so we need to improve ourselves to some degree. Hit the gym, buy a nicer car, be clean, have good hygiene. These are basics, and I'm all for improvement. I've said this a lot on my channel in the past. I'm all for improvement in general, right? Improve your situation. But if she's not with you before you've improved your situation, then I question the love, right? Women want the finished product, and the problem with that is there's no loyalty involved in that. There's no loyalty involved with sitting around at the finish line and choosing the winner, right? There's no loyalty involved in that. It's not real love. Real love is seasoned, meaning real love goes through ups and downs. It goes through winters, it has springs, it's got falls, it's got summers, it's got all the seasons. Real love, meaning you go through stuff. There's ups and downs, there's hardships, there's sufferings, there's trials, there's emergencies. I mean, that's life. Everybody goes through things in life, right? And that's kind of the whole point of marriage and love, is you got somebody there with you to go through those things with you, to be by your side through thick and thin, which is what the vows used to say. And they changed them, which is sick. They changed the vows. It used to be for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, through good days and bad days, for better or for worse. That's what the vows used to be, man. And that was those were solid things. It's like the Constitution of the United States. It's solid. No matter how corrupt the politicians become, no matter how degraded parts of our culture has become, the Constitution is awesome, and it stands and it sticks, and that's why it stands and it sticks, because it's just awesome. And yeah, there's ratifications and there's amendments and they change certain things, okay, but the basic concept of freedom and the ability to pursue health and happiness unhindered by tyranny and government, that's just an awesome foundation for a country, right? It's the same thing with the marriage vows, man. People used to take that stuff seriously. Yeah, through sickness and health, through richer or through poor, for better or for worse. That's what's up, because I'm in this thing for love. I'm in this thing because I love this man, or I love this woman. What happened to that, man? What happened? It didn't, I was coming of age in the 1990s. I was born in the 80s. I was coming of age in the 1990s. And it didn't really even exist then. So maybe you question, did it ever exist? Maybe those vows and stuff, maybe that was just idealism. Maybe that's just not female nature. I don't know. Somewhere along the line, I think we went wrong. I say it's in the 1970s with second wave feminism. 1960s, 1970s with second wave feminism. That's what I've always maintained. Now, of course, you could go back before the Industrial Revolution, and you could get into history and argue, well, you know, you're just talking about some ideal time that we got lucky in the 1940s, 1950s, and 1960s. Well, maybe that's true. Maybe it was an ideal time, and maybe we did get lucky, and maybe it'll never come back again. But we had values, and we were a proper country, it seems. Now, I know there was all kinds of other crap, racism, this, that, and the third. I know about all that, you know. And you could argue, you know, the feminists like to argue that, oh, there's a lot of misogyny and patriarchy, and the reason why our grandmas stuck with our grandpas was because they couldn't afford to leave, because they couldn't join the workforce. All this crap. Like, maybe, or second wave feminism came along and just warped everything, warped the culture, right? Damaged it. Second wave feminism came along and said, hey, you go, girl, you can go sleep around with a bunch of dudes. It's your body. Do what you want with it. Well, what does that say? That's do as thou wilt. Aleister Crowley, right? Do as thou wilt. Anton LaVey, right? The Church of Satan. Do as thou wilt is the whole of the law. It's your body. Do what you want. Kill your babies. Go fornicate. Go sleep around. Do what you want, man. And this is what they encourage. So what do you think? It's not only is it Satanism, not only is it evil, right? Because it, you know, it damages people, it ruins marriages, it STDs and this, that, and the third, right? This is what promiscuity does. It's also, not only is it Satanism and it's just pure evil, it's also social engineering. It's on purpose. That's what modern feminism is, social engineering. It's on purpose, man. To destabilize the family unit. Why? Because it destabilizes our country. You got a bunch of people not getting married. You got a bunch of people hating the other gender, right? Which is what radical feminism preaches. Masculinity is inherently evil. They want to assault you. They objectify, all these lies, right? What does that do? It warps the female psyche, and arguably women are more susceptible to this. Satan didn't go to Adam in the Garden of Eden first. He went to Eve first. Go read the story, Genesis chapter 3. He went to Eve first, the woman first, not Adam, not the man. Why? Because probably some say, and I tend to agree, the female is the weaker vessel. Does this mean that women are, you know, miles and miles inferior to men? I don't think so. Unfortunately, I think many of them don't live up to much of a standard in many ways, unfortunately. You know, this is my misogyny coming out, whatever, but I mean, I've met some wonderful women. I've met some amazing, strong, capable, crazy, intelligent, smart, way smarter than me women. You know, I've met some wonderful, wonderful women, but they're few and far between, unfortunately. And I'm not saying women are inherently evil or women are inherently problematic per se. A lot of men would say that. I'm not necessarily saying that. I'm just saying there's a reason why they're susceptible to second wave feminism. There's a reason why they really, really struggle with abstract thinking, and they really struggle with accountability, and they really struggle with personal checks and balances. There's a reason why a lot of men think that they're grown children. Sorry to say, I know I sound like a misogynist right now. I understand, but it's, you know, stereotypes are stereotypes for a reason. And I'm not trying to bash. I'm just saying they got infected with second wave feminism. It took hold. They got the hooks in them, right? that man hatred, and it ruins lives. I see it all the time. I talk to young women a lot on social media in the sense of as almost an opponent, and I see how they react to me, how they react to red pill truths, red pill versus feminists, right? I see how they react to it, and they're warped, they're damaged. There's a lot of single unhappy women because they bought into the lies of feminism, and they've become abrasive in their personality. They've become anti-men in their ideological thought processes, right? Subtly. Yeah, they want to sleep with men. Yeah, they want a boyfriend, whatever, but they want to feminize the guy. This is why these male feminist guys, these white knight male feminists, poser phonies, they're the real misogynists, right? Taking advantage of these systems, the system of feminism, hopping on the feminism train, right? Why? Because there's benefits there. Oh yeah, girl, I agree. It's your body, your choice. There's nothing wrong with sleeping around. Why don't you go sleep with me? Right? That's the whole point of it. That's the whole point of being a male feminist, is you get the perks. You get the perks, man. You get the, I'm one of you. Yeah, girl, I be empowered, roar. You're fierce, stunning, and brave, right? I'm on your team. Can I get some sex now? Right? That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. But who do they call the misogynist? The guy who wants to hold them accountable and say, hey, you said you wanted equality. You got it. So be accountable. Men have to be accountable. If you're always trying to equate men and equalize things with men, right? Then you need to be accountable like men are held accountable for our actions. To whatever extent, right? You can't just blame shift. It's like equal when it benefits them, and then blame men when it benefits them, right? Blame shift, right? Anyway, yeah, man, it's an interesting world out here. You got a lot of still, and I've been studying and watching a lot of a guy named Yuri Bezmenov. He's a Russian, I don't know if Russian defector is the right word, but he's a Russian defector, I think, meaning I think he was some kind of spy or some kind of agent in Russia, and he learned all about subversion and things like that, these tactics to topple governments, etc. And he made all these videos, and they're on YouTube, and they're brilliant. And he's talking about how socialism and communism and these type of ideologies are subversive in nature, and they're social engineering to, again, like I said, destabilize the family unit, to warp female mentality, right? Why? Because you go to the woman first, because she's susceptible. And then what does that mean? Well, who follows? The men, because the men want the sex, the men want the women, so the men they try to, even though they might not fully believe it, they don't care, because a lot of them are godless, and when you're godless, you don't have any backbone, so you just do whatever benefits you, right? You just go with whatever flow benefits you. And go to the women first, and then you can subvert the men. And when you got, what makes a country strong? Strong families, morals. What downgrades and throws into chaos a country? immorality. Look at what happened to Rome. Look at what happened to ancient Greece. All this same-sex stuff and, you know, all the nasty stuff, all the sick, perverted stuff happened, and it became a part of their culture, and then their country just folded, or their empire folded. It just went down, and that's how you subvert. I mean, there's many ways to do it. You could do drugs and alcohol. You could do political division. You could do, you know, religious division. If you look at Africa, this is how a lot of that stuff happened. You could do wars over resources. All these things are all, you know, in a sense, they're all social engineering because they affect society. So what could be more damaging than, you know, to society than insidiously dividing men and women, insidiously pitting them against one another? If the men are supposed to be the leaders and the providers and the protectors of a household, traditionally that's their roles, what could be more evil and insidious than demonizing that role? Oh, that's not him just loving and taking care of his family because that's his role and his duty. No, that's the patriarchy. That's an oppressive thing. How sick is that? Well, that's satanic because it's taking something normal, natural, good, and twisting it and saying it's evil. What does the Bible say? It says, woe to those who call evil good and call good evil. Woe to those, right? Well, what does that mean? That means if you say something such as a family and a man providing for his family is evil patriarchy, and you demonize masculinity, which is what gives him the drive to do that and play his role as a masculine man and a father, a provider, you demonize that. Well, what is that? It's twisting something that's natural and good and normal and subverting it. This is what Yuri Bezmenov is talking about. He's saying this is planned blueprint type stuff where they're planning this stuff step by step. How can we socially engineer? Well, what do they got in America? What is all these feminist outlets? You ever go read their stuff that they say? You ever go listen to their propaganda? It's extremely divisive. It's extremely anti-male, right? And I would argue, and some argue that the red pill is the inverse of that. Some people argue that the red pill is anti-women. I wouldn't say that. I would say that, to me at least, the red pill is anti-lies, anti-BS. It's pro-truth. It's pro-reality, because again, what is the red pill? It's just the truth. Something causes you to wake up, right? When Morpheus gave Neo the red pill, what happened? He woke up. He got out of the Matrix. He went down the rabbit hole, right? And what does that mean? It means you're learning the real truth about the real reality of how your system, aka your society, works, right? So if red pill is anti-feminism, then that just means they're pro-truth, because feminism is a lie. It's based on lies and manipulation. The CDC changed the definition of, you know, GRAP, right? Grape. It changed the definition of it when it comes to men from SA, right, to unwanted penetration, right? That's what they changed it. Google it. A woman named, what's her name? Is it Mary Koss? Koss, Mary Koss? It might be. I'll have to put a link or something. Yeah, Mary Koss, I think is what her name was. And she changed the definition. So, you know, if we're talking about laws and like how things are defined and what what defines a certain thing. You have a definition of that thing, and it's defined by the act, or it's defined by how it when you're talking about laws and stuff and crime and stuff like that, it's defined by what actually goes on, and it's called a code or a regulation or a code. I think it's called the CW code or something like that. Depending on what state you live in, it's called a code, codes and regulations, and there's all these definitions. That's what the law is. When you study law, or you learn about the laws of your cities and your state, this is how it's all definitions of how these laws are broken, etc. Right? Well, in that case, they changed it to unwanted penetration, unwanted contact. What that allowed them to do by changing it, again, you can Google this, it's the CDC, they changed it. I'm pretty sure it's a woman named Mary Koss, but what that allowed them to do was skew the statistics. Very important detail. If the statistics are skewed, then they can say that men are more often aggressors, right? So they didn't change the definition of when a woman is harmed in such a way, but they changed the definition of when a man is harmed in such a way. So it threw off the statistics, which actually are just about 50-50 if you really do the real research and the real studies. And it's out there, and I can post links, I can post articles that have proven it, post research, studies, etc. Right? I've done the math on this. I've done research. I've done the research. I've studied it. It's about 50-50, meaning it happens a lot to men too. And you could say, oh, it's underreported, it's overreported, who knows? But as far as the statistics, the real actual statistics, it's about 50-50. And I believe it's the same with DV. So there's a lot of lies in feminism, man. A lot of lies. Predicated on lies, based on lies, social engineering. Why? They don't want us to have a strong family unit. They don't want us to raise strong kids. It's evil, but it benefits those who are pulling the strings. It benefits the puppet masters in various ways. Kids from broken homes statistically grow up to a lot of times go to prison. I think 80 to 90% of men in prisons come from broken homes. That benefits the private prison system. A lot of them don't graduate college or high school even, right? What does that do? That causes them to commit crimes, again, become part of the prison system, which is prison for profit, modern day slavery. I think they're more susceptible to all kinds of things, more susceptible to do drugs, more susceptible to get diseases, more susceptible to get sick. The list goes on. You can Google single mother statistics. So if you break up the family unit and you cause a lot of single mothers to be out there, you are benefiting a lot of evil institutions. You are benefiting people who want to ultimately discombobulate and destabilize our country, because then they can rule over it easier. If you got a strong country full of strong, virile patriots who've got a family to protect, well, that's scary to the powers that be. Oh, we can't control these guys. We can't dictate to them what we'll do, right? Because they're too strong. They got their families to protect. But you got these guys out here who don't have families, and I'm one of them. I don't have any kids. I don't have a wife. And it's easy to be lonely. It's easy to fall into despair in that situation. It's easy to not have hope. If you're a man and you don't have a good wife and you don't have kids, because this is what we all dream of when we're young. Find love, have a family. Well, our country has lost those values. A lot of it has lost. We've lost those values to a good degree. I'm not saying totally. Certainly people are still getting married. certainly people are still having kids. It's just not in the same way. It's not the same type of culture, not the same type of traditional adherence to that, right? And it's very fragmented. It's very destabilized. People are still having kids, don't get me wrong. People are still getting married, moving into, it's just not the same type of culture. I'm not saying it's not happening. It is. All around us there's families, etc. But statistics say divorce is up from 37%, something, I think 39%, something like that in pre-1960s, and then second wave feminism came and it bumped up to 49%. I think at one point it was at 59%, and then I think it stabilized down to 50%. Now it's at about 50%, meaning 1 out of every 2 marriages are not working. That's pretty problematic, man. Social engineering. Yuri Bezmenov, look it up. But anyways, guys, I think I made my point. I'm always vacillating between what's female nature and what's feminism. The cause. Is it feminism? Is it social engineering? Is it female nature? What is it? I'm always vacillating between these things. It could be a little bit of all of it. Who knows? But anyways, guys, it's just something to bring some light on. Appreciate you listening. It's been Jay Lee, Northwest Podcast. Peace.